It's not every day that everybody's favourite lazy lasagna-eating cat gets his very own live-action feature. And 10 years ago, after waiting 26 years, since June 19th, 1978, Garfield made his big screen debut.
The story is pretty simplistic. Garfield is enjoying his lazy existence of things being done for him and John practically waiting hand on foot for him. Or, in Garfield's case, Paws. The story is somewhat relatable to most people from young pre-adolescent to adult years. We have these moments where we feel like we're at the center of people's universes, and we're the reason they're here, and then someone comes along and it upsets the balance and we wonder where it went.
A tad philosophical? Maybe, but you get my point.
Garfield is basically disgusted that Odie has taken his place when John adopts the puppy, and then, stricken with guilt, our hero leaves the comfort bubble that is his cul-de-sac and ventures into the city to rescue the helpless mutt.
And that's pretty much it for story.
It's kind of ironic to hear Mr. Murray as the voice of the iconic talking orange tabby, considering he once complained to Deke Studios that Lorenzo Music made Peter Venkman sound too much like Garfield on the real Ghostbusters.
Which is where the irony comes into play, because Murray replaces Music in the role he occupied.
But to his credit, Bill makes Garfield very likable, sassy, and conceited. Now, you may think that last detail could be considered as a jab. Quite the contrary, considering these are the very qualities that made Garfield what he is today. Garfield is known for having this dry wit sense of humor. For example, I'd like mornings better if they started later.
No need for a second opinion.
I think we can all relate to that, don't you?
Murray did excellent with the material and direction he was given, and it's just a shame that Fox didn't decide to make a third movie, as Bill got better with the sequel. But the powers that be felt it wasn't worth it.
Critics!
John at times could be clueless in both the comics and Garfield and Friends. And here Breckin plays him more or less the same. However, I felt that voice actor Tom Hughes actually put some charm and charisma into his vocal performances that made that character stand out, even if he was delusional at times. Here, Breckin is just delusional and having a personality akin to that of a wooden plank.
Schmuck.
He wasn't awful, but I've seen better. Okay, I need to be clear on something here. This is not the most accurate version of Liz the Vet from the TV show or the comic books.
I appreciate that movies do aspects of characters differently at times to the original source material, and it's a means of putting their own stamp on it, and I get that. It adds some necessary diversity and changes, and we get to see sides that we didn't see of them before.
It just seems like such a surprise to see Liz warming up to John so much easier in this, as opposed to Garfield and Friends and the comic books, where John practically borderline begged her to date him when she seemed so uninterested in his attempts to woo her.
But to Jennifer's credit, she does play this well, but at times, like her co-star Breckin, her performances came off as being a little wooden. And it's really a shame because Hewitt is a good actress. Especially her performance in Heartbreakers alongside Sigourney Weaver. That was a good movie, by the way.
So again, not awful, but not amazing by the same token.
The only real visual effect that I can think of was Garfield himself. And to be honest, it was like seeing Garfield jump off the pages of the comic and into the real world. He looked like Garfield but had somewhat more realistic proportions and fur.
Not much more I can say about it than that. The score is what it is. It's fun and enjoyable, and it amplifies the humour and tone that scene is looking to do.
For a kid who grew up watching Garfield in the 80s and 90s, this was actually a fun piece to watch. Could it have been better? Oh, indefinitely. Was it awful? No. It's just what you expect a fun family flick to be able to entertain the kids and the inner child of adults today who grew up with the comics and TV shows.
And that's a sign that the tank is full.
Garfield gets a strong loner. Until next time.